It sounds like you ended or included one of Bruce's messages in a team meeting today. Just your thoughts, your memories of Bruce, and what's the
Well,
time like?
it's we started the meeting actually with JJ saying a few words. JJ had been around, was close with him, so we had JJ say a few words initially. It's he's most certainly going to be missed. Obviously, he's been missed anyways because he hadn't been around. But you think about the type of person he is, the type of coach. For me, he was always that guy that could really truly tell me what was on his mind. Partly because he was a veteran coach, but he did because he cared, and that was one of his special, unique qualities about Bruce. He had great timing as to when to say something.
You always say that about learning. What did you learn from Bruce?
Oh gosh, a lot about about the way he used players. Trying to get players to do things. One of the toughest things you have to do as a football coach is get guys to play special teams. And you always kind of watch the way he got guys to relish their positions on the team. And it was I thought it was always a good way.
The guys in the locker room are all. I mean, he was this special teams guru. Right? One of the best special teams coaches. But all the guys are talking about what he was like as a person and what he meant to them as a mentor and things like that. What does that say to you about Bruce's character?
Well, Bruce, to him, it was more about the young man. I mean, it just wasn't about he's a football player and I got to coach him up. It was about the young man because he knew that if the young man was right, he'd be right on the football field, and that's part of it is how they are around around here, how they are around home. If things are okay, things are going good for them, then things are going to be good on the football field, and that he kind of understood that. And I think that's one of the things that we as coaches have to understand. It is really not just about coaching the player, but helping to mentor the young man.
The culture of the locker room is so important to you. How important was he as that veteran voice to the culture of the locker room?
Well, he was always kind of that guy to come to me and say, hey, did you see this? Or, hey, keep it on that might happen, or you might want to say that. I mean, like I said, he had this timing as to when to give me a little insight about something.
It was just from experience, I would imagine. And how much did you need that at times when you were kind of?
Well, I think I needed it, whenever it was the right appropriate moment. I mean, again, I'm still learning and growing, and when you've got veteran coaches, not just like Bruce, but Coach Hayner and Coach Matsko and Coach Pete. I mean, these are Jim Skipper. I mean, you got guys like that have been around for a long time. There's a lot of wisdom, and so I do rely on those guys for feedback and for them to make a point or something.
Steve Smith today said he's 89% sure he's going to retire after Sunday. You were around him for several years. Your recollections and reflections on Steve?
Oh wow, that's that's amazing because he looked like he had another good year, especially coming back from the injury he had last season. But the one thing is he's a dynamic, fiery player that that plays every play the way it should be played. And I think that's probably the biggest thing about him that I remember is how hard he played the game, how much he wanted to win, how hard he wanted to make those plays. Wow, 89%. Well, there's still 11%. You never know. But he's earned the right. He really has. He's earned the right to decide when he's ready to move on. So, but if he does, then it'll be the culmination of a great career.
Cam said that if he were looking into a dark alley, he'd want to make sure Steve Smith was on his side of things.
Absolutely. He's as tough as they get. He really is. And, if he's a teammate, he's going to fight for you. That's one thing. And, he's, like I said, wow, that's, I mean, for a guy that played as well as he did this year, like I said, he's earned the right to decide when it's time.
I'm sure you got a chance to watch that video of Cam. Pretty
yeah.
heartwarming. What'd you think about all that?
That's awesome. I mean, that's, that's something that a lot of people don't see. I mean, he does so much in the community. He does a lot of things selflessly, and I just think people, don't really know who he is, and all they see is what they want to see. There's a perception. So, but it's good. It's good for people to see that the things that he does do and that he does care.
You think Steve should retire Panther?
Well, that's up to Steve. I think he should though. I mean, think of all the years he's played here. But it's up to him. He'll decide what he wants to do, and he's earned the right. As I believe so, and what he wants to do is up to him.
Ron, he has such a big personality. Was that challenging for you initially as a first-year coach?
Oh, yeah. As a young coach, yes, because he really is, and he's so dynamic. And, you know, it's, like I said, though, he's done so many good things in his career, and, you know, he most certainly is going to go down. You know, I really do, and I still believe it. He's a future Hall of Famer because he's been so productive.
You talked about how Bruce was always willing to share and speak his mind with you. I guess Steve was.
Oh, yeah. That's one thing Steve did too. But you know, at the end of the day, sometimes, you know, to hear people's perceptions, to hear their opinions, it's good, and I think that helps.
We had Bucks defensive tackle George McCoy on the line this morning, and he kind of had a lot of interesting and good things to say about Cam and his personality, and how he's the same guy that he was in terms of having fun with the game since day one, and it's really good for the league where sometimes there's an urge to conform in certain ways. Do you agree with that?
I do. I think, you know, this game is full of personalities, and you know, for so long it's kind of been stoic and it's been the same. But I think it's important that the personalities show. I do. I think that, you know, again, within good taste, but I do think personality is important because, again, that's what people want to see. They want to see the guys enjoying the game. I mean, this is a game, and we should have fun when we play it.
You just had one quarterback throwing out there today?
Yes. DA's homesick. That's what happens when you got two young kids. You tend to catch their germs. And then Cam's pretty much going to treat him just pretty much the way we have the last couple of days, and then go from there. But Joe had a good day, threw the ball. Cam handled the running duties, you know, in terms of handing the ball off, the running plays, stuff like that. And you know, I thought it was a good day of practice. I really did. I thought the energy level was good. Always a little bit concerned, you know, after the news about Bruce and stuff. But I thought the guys handled it, and I thought that the tempo was exactly what we needed.
Ron, heard you on the radio talking about Luke a little bit. Can you confirm that he will not be playing?
Yeah, Luke will be a healthy scratch this week.
What about Cam?
What about him?
Would you consider that for him, a health scratch for him?
Well, at the end of the week, yes. If the trainers and doctors said he's not good enough to play, then I won't play him. But again, I'm going to listen to what.
A lot of quarterbacks, two or three went down last week. Is it
Yeah.
worth in his last game risking of maybe having an injury to recover from?
No, we're going to approach the game like we would any other game.
Right, you talked about it with Luke, but I mean, it's just being smart, right? And
Yeah.
Towards the future.
Yeah. At the end of the day, yes.
So just to be clear, Cam, if he's healthy and cleared, will play.
Yeah. Again, I'm going by what the doctors are telling me.
Based on the injury list, is Cam the one that may be in the most danger of not playing?
I don't know. I don't. I'm not the one who brought it up. You guys asked the question, okay? Just so we all are okay. All right.
Are there a lot of concerns about the availability? Because Greg has got the elbow, but he's a guy that you can go a week without practice and still, if he's cleared to play, he'll be fine out there. That's kind of where I was going with that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but just remember this is your question, not mine. Okay.
It's so a foot with Charles, not the hamstring.
You could probably put the hamstring too.
Ron did, I know you had IR a couple guys yesterday with knee injuries. Will either or both of those guys require surgery?
No, not that I'm aware of right now.
You guys good?
Cool. Thank you, guys.